Greetings and welcome to Monster Legends for another special feeding episode. This time we're going to be feeding a fellow that I picked up at the recent Tomb Guardian Island Progressive event. And this is Ugluk. And Ugluk showed up with lots of open ruin slots. Wasn't that nice of him? Anyway, he is a legendary, he is Earth. He is a dragon, he's into family, he's a villain, and he's very, very elite. And he's very welcome to the family. Yes, he is. So let's find him a nice spot where they can welcome him. Yeah, right there. He believes he can fly. Oh, and I got some good stuff for that, didn't I? Wonderful, wonderful. I'll open that in a video, of course. I guess they don't care about these last two slots. Okay, so where's our little friend here? This is something that I cannot even begin to, pronounce, so I'm not going to. Alright, this is Ugluk. He is a legendary. He is Earth. And you can see that little symbol showing that he is an elite. He also has an evolving trait. And he is immune to control. Isn't that a wonderful way to start? I love that. If you get him to rank 1, he will also get a status cast, which will give Quicksands torture effect to the other team. If you get him to rank 3, he will also add tough to the equation, which means he's going to have an extra 35% chance to resist negative status effects. Alright, so let's check out his stats. His strength is very good. His life is not bad. His speed is actually pretty good for an attacker, but then again, he is elite, isn't he? Let's check out his initial skills. Last Lizard Legacy. That's a tongue twister right there. Deals low physical damage to one enemy, and Defense Breaker. Deals moderate earth damage to one enemy. And his special skill where he really took off. Flail Copter. Removes positive status effects from all enemies. Deals insane damage to all enemies. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. The Lizards were a dynasty known for their might and their riches. By tradition, when they died, they were buried with their treasures. Now there's only one lizard left, Ugluk. But the pressure of maintaining his family's glory got the best of him. To this day, he spends his time in the dynasty graveyard, guarding his ancestors' remainings and riches. Okay, well, that's kind of an endless job there. We'll try to find something else for you to do on occasion. But first, we feed you. I'm assuming that you like tomatoes. Let's get him to level 4 and his final form. Okay, that's a very big flail you have there. I guess that helps you fly. Like that. On cue. Alright, let's get to the skills. They start at level 7. Ugluk Bite removes 30% of total life from one enemy. Ooh, that's an interesting way to start. Alright, so let's continue to level 10. Rotten Shields removes shields and applies Quicksands to one enemy. Gives one extra turn to itself. Well, that's kind of interesting. Probably not keeping it. Alright, let's see what is at level 15. Quicksands Trap. Deals moderate earth damage to one enemy, applies Quicksands and poison to one enemy. 0 cooldown. Ooh, that's kind of interesting. I'm just going to throw that up there. 0 stamina and 0 cooldown too, so he could use that at any time. Alright, so let's continue to level 20. Shoulder hit. That's actually a physical hit there. That's kind of rare, isn't it? Deals moderate physical damage to one enemy, gives one extra turn to itself. Well, you know what? A physical hit for a physical hit, right? And let's continue to level 25. Siege Finisher. Removes shield from one enemy, deals massive special damage to one enemy. Oh, that's kind of interesting right there. Let me think. I guess I'll put it there, because I'm not keeping that one, right? I'm probably not keeping that one either. He's got a lot of good stuff. Alright, so let's continue to level 30. Okay, shoulder hit came back. And let's go on to level 35. Poisoned ground. Deals moderate earth damage to all enemies. Applies quicksand and poison to all enemies. Okay, and that's actually a decent moderate damage. I'm probably going to hold on to that one. So, and it's only a 1-round cooldown too. Really nice. All right, we're going to put that there. I do have an idea what I want to do with him, by the way. All right, so let's continue. We should have 3 skills left because we got a duplicate. Furious Flail of Fate. Another tongue twister. Removes 50% of total life from one enemy. Applies a 20% life shield to itself. All right, so that means if something is like half damage, it just kills him outright. I think that's probably... I mean, this one here is nice, but yeah, you got to go with what you got to go with, right? All right, so let's continue to level 45. No, I don't want the shoulder hit. I'm going to have to go looking for the last 2, ain't I? Let's see. Maybe we'll get it at 50. Battering Lizard. Applies Taunt Hater, Precision, Double Damage, and Anticipation to itself. That is a 0 cooldown and a 0 stamina. So I'm actually going to throw that back there. I'm probably not taking the extra turn stuff, at least initially. So I kind of have a plan. Let's continue, because I got one more left. It's kind of hiding. Drown in Your Blood. Deals heavy special damage to one enemy. Applies Bleed and Drown to all enemies. So that's kind of what I wanted to put right there. And actually, I do believe that we're done. We will look at skills, of course, because, if nothing else, shoulder hit again. He does have a 4th tier. So let's just check out the skills here. Now, first the ones that I chose here, you got this one here with the multiple hits and then the quicksand and the poison. This one here takes 50% of life, gives him a little bit of life shield. Yet later in a fight, that could just kill something outright, no matter how much health it has, right? So that's really kind of useful. This one here is a good single hit on an individual, but it also gives torture effects to everybody. So with the first one and this one, with 2 attacks, he can have 4 torture effects on all the other enemies, and that's pretty destructive. This one, of course, the anticipation is a really nice addition there. I mean, if he gets his cooldowns activated, he can use this one and use his turn doing that. If he gets no stamina, he can also use this one and get ready for the next attack. And of course, if somebody on the other side, after he uses this one, uses an extra turn, then he's going to go because he's going to have anticipation. Kind of useful. All right, let's see over here now on the left. All right, that one, that's not a bad one to consider if he's going to get anticipation from this skill. But, you know, that requires 2 skills. So, you know, it's still a good one anyway, because he could use that one if he gets his cooldowns activated, if he has no stamina. It's just that I would like to prepare for the big hit over here. So that's just me. I mean, extra turn is nice, kind of low damage though. So, I mean, this was a nice way to start right here. Take 30% off. But then again, I have a 50% off, so that's better. Especially if it gives him a little bit of a shield. Now, this is a good attack, but I'm already giving him quicksands and poison with the other ones. Was that the first one, or was it... Yeah, this one right here, the group attack. So this was a single target version. And you know, the group attack actually does more damage. It's just obviously the 0 cooldown and 0 stamina is pretty nice. This one here, it's good, but it's kind of limited in terms of usage because, you know, you have to have a shield on, right? And these are the original ones. And now, of course, we have his tier 4s. I am probably going to rank him up to rank 1 because the status cast for the Quicksands is pretty nice. Besides, I would like him to be stronger. All right, we have this one. Ancestor's Bite removes 30% of total life from all enemies, applies a 20% shield to itself. It's hard to say if this one is actually good or not. I mean, he's got a great strength, and he's going to do damage with his hits. If you just look at this one right across from here, is this one going to do more damage if I'm going to put strength runes on him and he's got a good strength? Is it going to do more damage than this one? Because 30%, when you talk about a percentage, it's not affected by the actual strength of the individual. It's just 30%. So this could be a lot less than this depending on how much health they have. Now, if you have a bunch of guys who are like, you know, the mountains or something like that, or tanks or something, yeah, 30% is going to be more. But how often are you going to run into that when it's the whole party, right? So I don't know if I would actually go with this one. He's already getting the 20% shield from this one, right? So I just don't know about that one. Reptilian Ram. Removes shields from all enemies, deals heavy special damage to all enemies, applies bleed to all enemies. Now that one that's a no-brainer right there. You're going to take that one. That's pretty nice. Probably just, hold on a second, probably replace this one and then just the heck with the drown, right? Because you're going to do that damage to everybody. And yeah, it's pretty good. It's also 1 round cooldown again. So he can do that a lot. So that's the thing. I mean, I always have this one for a single target. So that would definitely be an upgrade. Ancestral Flail Swing. Deals moderate metal damage and applies Mega Stun to one enemy. Deals moderate metal damage to all enemies. All right, now that might be a replacement of this one here. Even though this one here takes the 50% of life off, it's still going to hit one individual and then try to Mega Stun him. And then, of course, do damage to everybody. So that might be a good replacement for this one. It would depend. And then, of course, you have this one, Your Last Taunt. Applies Taunt Hater to itself, deals massive special damage to one enemy, removes Taunt Hater, and gets an extra turn. That one you're going to take. That's a Mega Taunt killer right there. Because he's going to do massive special damage. He's going to have Taunt Hater on, which means, I believe that's triple damage. So he's just going to wail on something and then get an extra turn. So yeah, you're going to take that one if it comes up. So I'm actually targeting getting him to rank 1, but I honestly don't know if I want to take this one or not. It really depends. Guess I have to test with it. And let's check out his skills at level 60. His strength is really good, like I said. His life is okay. His speed is actually surprisingly fast. So if you have somebody else in the group who's giving, say, support speed, it's going to affect him and make him go faster. Now, for runes on this guy, I would go with 2 damages, right? And you know, for him, I think a speed for him is not such a bad idea. Normally, for damage dealers, I would put a support speed on. But the thing about it is that, 1, he's got skills that do multiple torture effects, right? So I wouldn't mind getting those on the other side as quickly as possible. And also, he does have this. He does this, and getting him back to attack faster would actually do a lot, especially if there's a Megaton tank there. And getting him anticipation quickly, if there is somebody on the other side who extra turns, isn't such a bad idea. So I'm thinking 2 strength runes and a speed rune for him. Not a support one, a straight speed. And I also might put a halfway decent one on him, because with his speed, he's going to benefit from that. All right, so let's take a look at the skills that I selected. Poisoned Ground. Deals moderate earth damage to all enemies. Applies Quicksands and poison to all enemies. And of course, that's just a 1 round cooldown. And with his strength, that's actually going to do a lot of damage right there. So, and it's a 1 round cooldown, so he gets to use it over and over again pretty quickly too. So that's not so bad. Then we have this one, Furious Flail of Fate. Removes 50% of total life from one enemy, applies a 20% life shield to itself. So he's going to hit one individual, and it's going to take 50% of the total life off of them. Now, this is not affected by his strength or the runes or anything like this. If they have 49% of their life left, boom, they're dead. So this is very useful, and it's always important to keep a single target skill for those individuals who dodge group attacks. So this one will definitely fit the bill. Then we have this one, Drown in Your Own Blood. Deals heavy special damage to one enemy, applies bleed and drown to all enemies. So this is another single target hit, which you could, if you have a situation where you only have one guy left, you can go back and forth with those, right? But this one, of course, will give torture effects to all the enemies over there. Now, with this one and this one, you have 4 torture effects if you start with this one and then go back to this one. So the entire team, unless, of course, they resist it or they're immune to it or they avoid it for somehow, they're going to have 4 torture effects eating them away. That's one of the reasons I'm like, yeah, a little extra speed for this guy would be okay, right? And then, of course, finally, we have Battering Lizard. Applies Taunt Hater, Precision, Double Damage, and Anticipation to itself. Alright, that is a 0 cooldown and a 0 stamina, so he can use that if he gets his cooldowns activated, if you have his stamina taken away. And he wants to use it if he looks on the other side of the battlefield and sees somebody who's going to use extra turns. You see a Voltec, you see a Xyla, you see even though he doesn't want to see a Xyla, by the way. Or he sees a Prince Charmless. So if he sees any of those extra turners over there, it's a really good idea to get in there. This is also good if you see a Megaton tank over there, so he can prepare to take it out. He gets this one, he's got the Taunt Hater, and he's got the double damage, and then he can come up to like something like this, and remember, all the hits will go. So that is really going to hammer something, probably mostly kill it dead, and if it is anything alive, he can just do this and finish it off. He's very good at that kind of thing, very good at killing things. He would be very effective against extra turners with the extra speed, so he can go first, and of course, like Mega Taunts, or just a regular Taunter. So anyway, he is very, very good, obviously. He is an elite, so of course he is. And of course his immunity to control means that he's going to work well in combos with certain individuals, like a Finier, who basically will stun somebody but give them triple damage. Well, he's just going to get the triple damage. Or like Kronks, who is going to give triple damage but also baby them, but of course he's immune to control, so he's not going to get babied. That's one of the situations that I use in my team, and there might be incidences where he ends up in my team. We're going to have to see about that for the future. Certainly, he's going to be very useful in war situations. Anyway, again, this is Ugluk. He is very good. Can't wait to start playing with him. Anyway, thank you very much for your attention. I really appreciate it, and play games because games are fun. See ya.